Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
Ross McCoy's here. How you doing, Ross?
Hey guys, what's going on?
Good to see you, man. How are you? How was your weekend?
Oh man, I had a great weekend. It was my birthday weekend, so we really lived it up.
Yeah, man. 41. 46.
No, 6. I'm 6 years old.
6 years
Yeah, I
old.
got
Wow.
that
Oh, my
Benjamin
God. You look
Buttons.
great.
Yeah, it's bad.
So what does a Mr. McCoy do for his birthday weekend?
We did steak dinners 2 nights, not in a row, but pretty consecutively. We went to Christner's one night, courtesy of Power Spot Craig. Thanks, Craig and Marsha. And then we went to the night of the hurricane. Thursday night at 8, like right when the hurricane was hitting Orlando, we went to Linda's La Cantina.
Yeah.
No, it's open,
There's
no
nothing
problem.
more Orlando than in the middle of a hurricane going to Linda's.
Yeah.
Did you have a drink at the Coquina Sunken Bar?
I was driving, so I did. Everybody else had like a glass of wine and a cocktail with
Gotcha.
their dinner. It was pretty. The lights flickered one time.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
everybody go,
it was
ooh? Yeah. It's like being in the Haunted Mansion.
And then I think we ate till probably 9:30, and we were closing them out. They were done by then.
Yeah.
It didn't impact us, but my God, the whole North Carolina and the flooding is insane.
I don't even want to look to
It's
see
real bad.
what happened with the river. There was already an erosion problem on the cabin I like to go to in Ellijay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's changed that area a little bit because it would have had to.
Oh, I thought we were talking about my birthday weekend. You guys want to go to the Weather Channel? You guys wanna-
Sorry.
I like that. You know what? We deserve that. We deserve all of that. Let's go back to happier things.
And we went to see Jewel.
Yeah.
We went to technically Melissa Etheridge and Jewel.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's Jewel doing?
Oh my God.
Did she fix her teeth or no?
Yeah, a long time ago.
That's what I thought.
Long
But
time
then
ago.
sometimes I look at her and I'm like, I think you stayed not normal, but I don't think you fixed your teeth. Has she ever addressed that at all?
Yes. I mean, not the fixing of them, because that obviously happened.
Sure.
If you remember what Jewel used to look like,
I do.
Her teeth are now perfect. She has perfect teeth now.
Yeah, she looks great.
I just we on the way to St. Augustine to see her, we were listening to she did a really good Joe Rogan interview, like really good. She tells about her mom stealing all her money and like early years and all kinds of stuff, and the crooked teeth thing comes up at a couple points.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So was it a point of contention or like a thing where like a self-esteem thing where
There was one thing that came up where a guy said a thing to her that I can't even say on public radio, but she was able to say it on the Joe Rogan podcast about her crooked teeth.
It's a Black & Decker Pecker Wrecker. Is that what it was?
You know what? I didn't know I could say that.
Yeah, you can say Black & Decker.
I didn't know I could say
you
that.
can say Black
yeah.
& Decker Pecker Wrecker. In fact, the original name of this show was going to be the Black & Decker Pecker Wrecker. We're also a bluegrass band.
How much money did Jewel make in her career?
I think she was getting it when like it was big 90s money, right?
Again, because I listened to this interview twice. I listened to it once on my own and once with my wife on the way to St. Augustine, so I'm very familiar with Jewel, like until the weed kicks in later. But she says her mom stole upwards of $100 million.
Holy God!
The reason is like when she started, she did like kind of an underground popularity thing. She kind of like grew and got a notoriety, and then kind of the record label was bidding over her. And at one point there was $1 million like signing bonus on the table. But she went to the public library and read this book about like how to do the music business, and she knew that was just a loan basically. She turned it down, got a back end deal, and then like continued just like eking out a living for a couple of years. But then she got on Conan, I think is what she attributes to. And then she said she started selling 1 million units a month for like years. And then she got back end on all of that.
And then her mom took it?
At a certain point, her mom, came and was like, hey, let me take care of your finances. And then there was some kind of lawsuit. She settled
That's
the
what I'm
lawsuit.
going to do, amazing.
This is how she found out.
In there. Hey, Daddy's here. You need a little help.
Somebody was suing her. She settled a lawsuit, and she went to her mom, and she's like, okay, we just need like whatever it was, $50,000 to settle this lawsuit. And her mom was like, we don't have any money. It's all gone. And
who's going to save your soul now?
And then her mom sued her for $500,000, and Jewel paid it, and she said, I've never seen her since then.
Oh, that's a tough story. That's rough.
I can't recommend this interview enough.
And then
It was
based
really
on
good.
that, she was like, I got to fix my teeth. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if less celebrity parent child relationship theft is going to happen nowadays because it's easier to keep track of your money through apps and things like that. Where 25 years ago, you'd have to like go
You
see your
shuffle it in the
banker.
paper,
I mean, when Jewel was
Yeah.
coming up in the 90s, right? It's like,
I mean,
there's
it won't
paper
work for
statements.
us. We're still all paper. I mean, if you go look at his desk, it's just we can shuffle things in there if need be.
The kind of
and I'm
person,
glad we have that.
The kind of person who will catch on is going to catch on, whether they have to like call the bank or log into an account or whatever.
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
kind of person who just like wants to sing and like
Yeah, the
doesn't really
artist,
care about the
yeah.
money and wants somebody else to just take care of it, they're always going to let that person take care of it.
Also,
and it's
I'd
not gonna
like to zero in on the word "mom" here. Like that shouldn't have happened, right? I mean, I think we could all agree that moms are supposed to support. I mean,
and then as a beautiful counterpoint, like at a certain point in the show, Jewel goes like, she does a couple numbers up front. She's like, my voice is kind of like rough right now, so we're going to go acoustic for a couple numbers. And by the way, I would love to see her at 100% with her voice because she was amazing as it was. Like she was like, I got to touch a laryngitis, so we're gonna go acoustic. And then after the acoustic set, she brings her son out, and her son drums with her for like a couple numbers, and it was really cool.
Now, I will say, if one of my sons, and I'm just going to put a bet on Max, ends up being an entertainer in some
Sure,
way, like
yeah.
let's say, he's a good-looking kid,
Yeah.
and he's also got confidence, and with the breakdancing, and then all, and then he hits it, whatever, and makes millions. Like, I'm gonna wet my beak a little bit on.
Oh,
something.
yeah.
I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
not, I'm the one taking him to the auditions. I'm telling him, like, here's what you do with your social media. Like, I'll be a good manager.
I mean, like, these are all fake things you haven't done yet. But yeah, I support this. I 100% support this because right now you are taking him to his breakdancing lessons.
Yeah, and I
You've
sit in
taken
my
him to the
truck.
wrong birthday party a couple times. You've taken him to the basketball court, and he's not been able to play because two bigger kids were playing, and you refused to
Some
butt
say wrong
in.
birthday, I say opportunity, right? Get out there and dance. Show this wrong birthday what you're made of.
I'm just,
It's like you're at the wrong birthday.
I do look at it a little differently now than I used to before kids when I see the parents take all their, the childhood.
They were
celebrity.
villains before you had children.
And then now I'm like, well, they deserve. I mean, they'll take it all. But if
you're describing more of
50-50.
a Kid Gronk situation. What Jules doing here is like the equivalent of like you saying like, okay, Tom and Dan live show, and here's Max on a soundboard, because that's what he can do.
Yeah. No,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
But
No,
I'm
I
not
gotcha.
diminishing Jules' son. She's a very competent drummer, like very competent.
Gotcha. Yeah, I do feel. Yeah, I feel like you can. As a parent, you can get away with a lot. It's just these greedy parents, they go crazy and they're like, I gotta have it all.
Dude, remember that time I brought my kids out to sell duct tape wallets?
I do.
And my one kid played the cello.
They
and
did great.
Fleeced your fans. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
they
It was
did.
great.
They
But you
did
took a
very
cut,
well.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, because he's smart. He knows exactly what he's supposed to do.
So, Daniel, you went to go see a UCF game this weekend.
I did. I went to my very first ever UCF game, which that's
Oh, you picked the right one?
I did. Yeah, I know,
Blowout.
right. Well, I mean, I picked the right one to go to for excitement. I'll tell you that. But as far as UCF playing, not good. 13-point favorites. Colorado versus UCF. I think it ended up 48-21, which should have never happened. We left at there were. What was so weird about this game is like going there, being there, and everything. The excitement level was so high. Home opener.
The rain pushed it back, right?
The rain did push it back a little bit. I got to tailgate with some amazing BDMs like Link and Jen and Danny and Rick gave me awesome seats in their area right behind the band.
Yeah.
Their seats could not have been any better, man. That stadium's great, but I have never seen anything like the amount of people that I saw in that stadium that were wearing Colorado gear that had no idea who they were. They don't know who that team is. They don't know one player.
Really?
They didn't go to Colorado.
Or the Dion
But
Sanders
it's
effect.
so much.
Oh, is that what's up?
Yeah.
Okay,
I knew it was popular. I knew Coach Prime was popular. I knew Colorado was popular. I knew there was hype. But I've never seen anything like that.
So I'll give Ross the 30-second heads up with
Yeah.
the sports. Is Dion Sanders becomes the coach of Colorado. His son, Shador Sanders, is the quarterback, and it's created lots of obviously media buzz.
And there's a meme cell phone. Now I'm clear.
Yeah.
Well, it's so much hype. But like going into this game, I mean, everybody's telling me UCF 13-point favorites. I'm like, okay, this is fine. But I mean, apparently not. But that place was rocking and rolling. It was a great game. I had a great time. But what really blew my mind, and I couldn't stop thinking about, seemed to be just as many Colorado jerseys, if not more, around me. We were outnumbered. The people behind me, there were 5 people behind me, Colorado fans. All around me, jerseys, shirts. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, because you got now a bunch of bandwagon college football social media fans of
Coach Prime.
Yeah, Dion Sanders and what he's doing, and so they want to see it. Especially, they're not going to be able to see, and none of us are going to be able to see Dion Sanders coach his son, who's playing quarterback next year, because he's going to be probably in the NFL.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Or out. So it's like this is the only time you get to see Dion Sanders coach his son in a college football game. So that probably brought a lot of people
And
around.
you definitely could, like, it was all... Everything Dion did seemed by design, like even what he wore on the sideline made it easy to find him. You know what I mean? Like, it seems all very thought
high
out.
Viz, yeah.
Like as soon as we took our seats, Andrew was like, boom, there he is. He came walking down, yelling and screaming. You know,
prime time, baby.
Yeah, they did the whole, they came down, his team came down, and they all did like a very long and like prayer. And then I was laughing because it seemed like some of the players, like they were like, well, I'm the best player because I prayed the longest. Like some guys were like, I have to pray for like a full 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like,
God's
this guy's really
me.
praying. He wants you to know that he is praying. Like there were so many things happening that were not football related.
Jesus is calling plays in the prayer circle.
I didn't know.
Wait until he's done.
Here's something I didn't know. I thought it was a dry stadium. Then Rick and everybody at the tailgate, Ulmer and Link and all the BDMs. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, going back to the prayer thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I want to make fun of it.
I made fun of it actively. Not the prayer.
But-
I made fun of it. Like you could do a quick one.
Yeah.
But the guy that's down
Competitive
there,
praying,
the guy
yeah.
that was down there, he was trying to out-pray his friends, and that made me laugh. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. That's funny.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you're praying. Whatever you need to do to be confident.
Get
do
what
it.
you get from it. Sure.
Yeah.
The obvious joke is that both teams are praying. Which one is God gonna let win?
Yeah.
But I
Who does
think,
God love?
But if you're gonna be honest with, I think they just pray for everybody's health. I don't think they actually pray for a win, right? Or do they pray for a win?
It's just like a game. You know, they chalk up how many Bible violations and whoever is the least violative. You know.
I think it's a lot of like, let's be healthy, no one get hurt.
Yeah,
and
as
less
well
of
it
like,
should be.
What's let me catch a touchdown.
You had shrimp or shellfish that weekend? No, that's 3 points.
Yeah. I thought it was a dry stadium. Absolutely not a dry stadium.
They changed that a couple
my
years
God.
ago, right?
Yeah, in like 2018, I guess they started serving beers. Maybe not a good idea. I've never seen that many drunk people in my life. I saw a man that looked like. I've been having a lot of run-ins with Hawaiian people lately. This guy looked like Maui.
Okay.
Big.
Is he just following you after the cruise?
I know.
Like, is he on to you?
Big Maui, but in one of those oversized wheelchairs for larger people that had drank himself to death, and they were wheeling him through our section, and he is just funnel puking, lumpy, like a how it's made for any type of cheese device, and just all down into his lap. It just you could smell it. It just everybody just spray puking all around us. I've never seen that many drunk people in my life.
Or you start tailgating,
Yeah.
then you push it the time of the game back to start, and that's a recipe.
I couldn't
for
even
a blackout.
hang. I couldn't even hang with Ulmer and the BDMs. They go way too hard for me. I can't hang with those guys. They got there at 8 a.m. We showed up like, I don't know, maybe a little before noon or something like that. They'd been out there for hours drinking. A storm rolls in. There's people with no clothing on running around holding tents down. It's
college
crazy.
football.
I can't do it. I am not built for that. But I will say, UCF, your bounce house is amazing. I can't wait to go back. Hopefully we'll have a team that can play a little bit better than what we did against Colorado. But I had a great day. Just I can't party like that. I can't drink like that. My hips can't take it. I can't walk up a stadium. I'm officially handicapped.
Speaking of houses bouncing, the footage I saw from that game, I don't know if you're going to talk about this or not, Dan. DJ Khaled tries to crowd surf.
Oh, yes, I saw that. Yeah.
So
And where is that?
If you haven't seen it,
really lift him up.
if you haven't seen it, just imagine DJ Khaled jumping into a sea of people and then like them bending like a plywood board under a meteor, basically, like, and then in your head, and you have it exactly right. That's exactly what happens. It's like. First of all, he can't even jump.
No,
he kind of he kind of runs at them and jumps, and he like
rolled over to them.
he kind of touches their hands, and you see like 3 people run up and push him onto the crowd. It's not pretty at all. It's amazing.
Well, DJ Khaled, he's a very soft man, I think.
He's recently embraced exercise. He's golfing.
Really?
He's exercising. No, he's a fat.
Oh,
woman.
okay. I was about to say, yeah. Well, and you're rich, so you've made your life insanely easy, and it seems like he's got the personality
You see it?
to
I got it
make
here.
it as easy as possible. I mean, he doesn't even eat it. if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no. Well, I don't know. Maybe he's changed on that.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's changed on
No,
that.
he's one of these guys that just makes proclamations. Because I've seen his Instagram. He like made the proclamation years ago. I'm gonna get fit. I'm gonna get fit, and then just never follow through.
Here he is. Here's DJ Khaled crowd surfing. He's ready.
Yeah.
Tough to get him up there.
They reject him at first. He bounces back to the ground, and the dudes have to push him in.
Yeah, he's big. He's a big boy.
Yeah, you can't feature on a push-up.
He's a
That's
big,
the problem.
big boy. Why do we have a citronaut? I don't know if other UCF people can write me, but do we have a citronaut other than Nitro, or is Nitro the only costumed mascot we have now? I see the citronaut everywhere. He's represented on my jersey. He's represented by little dolls and stuff like that. But do we have somebody that dresses up like him?
I have no idea. I think it's only Nitro, the night.
They should bring the citronaut back.
We were just talking about the citronaut. Bart went to UCF.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the citronaut. What was it previously? The school was called like Florida Technical College or something like that.
Yeah. Or I think Andrea's dad actually, my wife's dad actually went there when it was not UCF.
The citronaut is a cool character.
Yeah,
They
he's
definitely...
cool. He looks like the Great Gazoo from the Jetsons or Flintstones. He's a very 1960s.
He's like a 50s
space.
cartoon
Yeah.
astronaut, but instead of like a space helmet bubble, he's got an orange head.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, here he is.
Not very intimidating.
No, but it's a lot more. It's got a lot more heritage to me.
He can breathe orange juice. Can you?
Yeah,
come on.
to me, he's cool. Like he's cooler than Nitro's cornball. This guy's like 50s cool. He reminds me of Bucko Bruce from from Ohio State. And that's like a real. When you figure that's like a real heritage franchise, we need to go with that. Not Nitro. He looks he's a little 90s, right?
Yeah, but
he's kind of like, you look at Nitro and he's like, I did it all for the nookie. And we're like, okay, Nitro, settle down, right?
I like Nitro a lot. He's one of the few mascots with an accessory.
He looks like foam.
He's always got the sword
He's
with
foam.
him. That's cool. I could see the citronaut though as like a big red style like inflatable mascot. You ever seen one of those? Those are my favorites.
Oh, the ones where they can pull their hands inside their body and make it bounce up and down.
The guy that does Big Red for Nebraska is is the Leonardo da Vinci of this. By the way, like it's amazing what he can do with that inflatable suit around him.
He can. I think he can like switch it so his legs go out the top.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Although if you are a mascot purist like I am,
okay, all right,
I want to go.
Yes.
You want a human?
Yeah. No. Well, not only I want regular suit with detachable head.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm okay with that for citronaut.
Yeah. So that at any point your head could fall off, and then there's the inflatable. It's too much of a gimmick.
Okay.
All
right. A lot of people feel that way about Halloween.
I'm a purist.
Okay, you're on the board.
I'm a big fan of a hybrid, like your Claw. Remember Claw from the Predators?
How can we forget him?
I think the Baltimore Ravens have a guy that's just like a jacked dude with like a raven head that like runs around and stuff.
What do you feel? Where do we feel about Jack Dude?
I like a hybrid.
Have you seen the CrossFit thing they're doing now? No. Okay, the new thing now is I think Kentucky has this. The Wildcats. I think. Sorry about that. That's called beer over the weekend. They put a CrossFit guy in the suit so he can do all kinds of amazing things. So he'll do the push-ups, like the one-arm push-ups.
Yeah.
He'll do the ones where he's like jumping tables.
Yeah.
He'll do flips off the top. I don't know about that.
See,
that's not a mascot. That's a CrossFit man.
Right.
That's fine if you're still in a big baggy mascot suit with a detachable head. I don't like it when they just turn it into basically a bodysuit,
superhero costume.
Yeah. And then
no, this was still kind of baggy.
Yeah. If it's baggy, I'm fine with putting an athlete in there.
Sort of baggy. Okay.
You can't just put there's like a basketball team that has the guy in just the leotard.
It's the Hornets.
The Hornets. Like he's just a full green.
They just put sunglasses on. You look like a Hornet. All right, there you go. Because he's in a green bodysuit. They put bug eye glasses on. You look like a bug. That's not fair.
I think the Ravens have a similar one, which is like, again, a jack dude, Raven head. And at the mascot games, he always crushes because he can run so much faster than anybody else.
Everybody else is like Nitro. Is like that's my beef with Nitro. Not that the name and the look isn't good. It's just he's styrofoam. He looks like a styrofoam. It's not menacing at all. So we might as well go full history and go citronaut. That's my argument.
Or is it the cartooniness of it that's bothering you? What if we got like a real knight in armor?
I would love that.
Okay.
I heard we had that.
Really?
But I went to UCF and my participation is so limited that I don't really know what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to yell stuff on the radio until people write back to me and say, like, this is where you're wrong. But like why not a jack dude that looks like the Mountain from Game of Thrones?
Exactly what I was thinking.
Who's in black armor with a big flaming gold sword, who rides a Clydesdale, a big giant mega horse that's going to stomp you. And then he rides out and he's like, oh, death to our enemies, like that.
Your hyper-realistic mascot. Yes,
man.
Yeah.
That would be badass.
And the horse can doo-doo on the field, which I really like.
Big mouth.
I like when an actual animal doo-doos on the field.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Well, speaking of football, I went to a high school football game on Friday.
Nice.
Because my
single life's kind of fun, right?
My niece.
Were you selling cigarettes now or something?
Yeah, he was working concessions. Times are tough here. We both work high school concessions.
You know what's funny? I wrote down no one's smoking.
Well, they're vaping. It's all vaping.
Oh, I didn't see anybody.
Over by concession is where my dad used to go to smoke.
I did not see anybody smoking. That's a thing of the past.
Behind concessions and you smoke look, while they're selling tiny Cokes.
So my niece, I got the text on Friday. So like, oh, my niece Becca is playing in halftime and the national anthem, and she's in middle school. But I guess her middle school band teacher also is somehow associated with Lake Howell High School. Yeah. Maybe he works. I don't know.
Well, for marching bands, a lot of times it takes a lot of people to wrangle that many people. So sometimes
maybe there's a partnership. With the
middle school band directors will come over and assist. They can.
Yeah. So
I think we had that in DeLand.
So the middle school, my niece's middle school, was playing in Lake Howell with the Lake Howell's band. So we were gonna go watch them, and so we go there. And now I don't know any of the details or nothing. I'm just like, I'm gonna go sit in the stands, wave at my niece.
You're supporting her.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do.
And so I haven't been. I don't think I've never been to a high school football game ever in my life. That was my first time.
Oh, no way, dude.
Yeah, I never went to my high school football games.
No, you definitely went to a couple. You're just blackout drunk or something.
No. I never.
I believe that Miami, he probably did not go to a high school football game.
In Miami, I never went, even though
I was in the band, so I went to every high school football game.
You know, it's kind of sad because now, because of charter schools in Miami, my high school doesn't have a football team or anything. It only has 400 students, and it soon won't be a high school anymore. Because they're gonna, like, a charter school is just gonna buy it up and there's buildings that is abandoned. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
So anyway,
the school that a lady drove you to in a van with a hole in the floor. That
was my middle school. That was Glades.
How dare you?
Sir,
that was Glades
How
middle.
dare you? The best years of his life at Glades.
So anyway, so I'm there and I'm like, all right, you know, there's I know Lake Howell, and then they're playing.
No, you know Jeff Howell.
And so I don't know who they're playing, so I'm trying to see. So I look across the field and there's the visitors.
And there she was.
And I see the band, and then I see the visitors, and then I see them like warming up on the field, and then I'm doing the math.
Did you have your glasses?
And no, I don't.
You're gonna need them. That's gonna be hard out there.
But even without my glasses,
it was really hard at the UCF game for me to see anything.
I could tell a theme of the visitor team, and I'm like, oh, there's some. And then I figured out they're Evans High School.
Oh, right on.
And
did you figure it out by reading the word Evans?
I figured it out by looking, and then well, it's far away.
He's used his new superpower. He calls it Evans Vision.
Yeah. And then I'm doing the math. I'm like, well, it could be only a couple of places.
Jones.
Joe. Yeah. And then
Evans.
So, and then it turns out
both were my band director buddies. Both band directors at both those schools.
Evans High School, really good at marching band, really good at football.
Oh, they blew you guys off the field?
Their marching band, they went on first for the halftime.
Did Becca get to perform with them? That's dope.
No. She was Lake Howell.
Oh, I was gonna say, they lay a beat down, man.
Yeah, no, it is.
They're good as hell.
Insane, and they're sponsored by UCF. Yes. They put on.
They have all the
college.
Equipment.
Full uniform. Yeah. They're doing splits. A breakdown.
Did they have the drum set on the side with the two? Because it's a
the whole thing.
Double drum set. It's marimba, xylophone, vibes. They got a full pit. They got a bass player that plays an electric bass. Yeah, it's badass.
They have a front four, but like a baton man. I don't know what they're called, but they're like dancing full on.
Then you got a flag corps.
Yeah. But like part of the like really impressive marching bands have what are they just have like,
drum major.
Is a drum major
with the big hat.
Yeah, big hat.
Yeah,
and
that's
like,
the leads of the band.
Yeah, and some sort of like
UCF
staff.
too. They had like a man, and then they had a lady.
Yeah.
I only paid attention for the man.
And I mean,
I'm kidding.
the performance they put on was really impressive.
They work really hard, man.
And then I'm like, my God, that's a high school marching band. And then I felt bad.
And then Lake Howell was like, "No, we gotta dial it up, y'all. Let's do this."
I felt bad for like when
and
Evans,
now performing "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star."
No, I don't want to. I'm not talking bad about
that
it.
was always like me. They go out there, they blow it. The weekend came down for the frickin' ceiling. They're singing.
Yeah.
They've got like hologram Tupac out there performing.
But I'm curious. Like,
and now performing "Country Roads Take Us Home."
When Evans comes into other schools and then
blows the doors off,
and then does that marching band, that must make the other school's marching band feel bad, right?
Well, who scheduled the lineup? Because you got to know. It's not like Evans came out of nowhere. They've been doing this forever.
Yeah, I'm sure this has been going on for a long time.
It's also the energy of the game too. They it keeps the crowd like pumped up.
Let the other band go first and play. She's coming around the mountain or whatever, and then, ladies and gentlemen, Evans, let them come out and close.
Yeah. I was thinking of Ross the whole time. I'm like, Evans should have closed this thing.
Exactly.
That's better for everybody. You're right. You're absolutely right.
But I think it's
it's home and visitor. They do it based on that.
Yes, I know. Yeah. But
dude, you don't think the Little DeLand High marched out there one time and then we got our doors blown off by a college that had some funk in their trunk?
Yeah.
It absolutely happened.
So you were in the marching band. Yeah, you know.
And we'd get on the bus and we'd be like, oh, we were not. They were good and we were not good. We got booed. We got stuff thrown at our bus.
The Jewel and Melissa Etheridge show. I was under the impression Melissa Etheridge would be the headliner. In my mind, she's bigger, a bigger act.
Yeah.
So she would headline, and she went first, and she did a great show. But then Jewel went and she blew her out of the water. There's no way Melissa Etheridge could have followed that. And at the end, Jewel's like, even this is all Melissa Etheridge's crew and gear. Give it up for her. So like, at some point, they came to a decision like, well, you obviously are the headliner of this because I couldn't follow you. There's no way.
Yeah. And then you kind of just, and as even an entertainer, you put your ego aside and you're like, this is a better show.
In terms of the show.
Yeah. It'll make everybody feel better.
It also, because band is competitive. When you're going out there, you do know if
marching.
I did it. So you know if the other band is taking the field before or after you know if they're better than you immediately. Like
the crowd tells you. The crowd lets you know.
100%.
Yeah,
you know.
Absolutely.
I didn't know also that like high schools
teach reading.
Well, they put up a little like a tent and a TV, and they run through plays, kind of like on the sidelines. And I was like, wow, that's more advanced than I thought they would do. Like they're replaying some sort of video that just happened, which I'm assuming
to correct mistakes.
Yeah. Just like just like professional football, where it's like they're looking at iPads. Everybody's got their individual one, but like, and this is like,
what if the kids just have such like little focus? They're watching Mr. Beast in that time, like between plays.
I keep them like quiet. His latest videos was his biggest ever. Oh my God, it's so amazing.
I was sitting.
It's with all the YouTubers, and they're fighting each other.
I was sitting in front of
Have you guys tried Lunchly yet? Oh my God.
What's
the
that?
Electrolytes and Lunchly.
He's obviously throwing Mr. Beast references at us, but
it's the only thing I
old.
eat now for lunch. I brought one today. From now on, I am fueled by Lunchly, electrolytes, and 10% more protein than Lunchables.
What? Oh, it's kind of like a Lunchable?
Yeah, and they're being sued out of existence right now by Big Lunchable, I feel like. It'll shake out. They're making money. Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, and KSI all came together for one big super group and created the new lunch project, Lunchly, which is taking on Lunchables, and their big tagline is it's got 10% more electrolytes.
All right.
In it, which sounds a lot like that movie.
Brando.
Yeah, thank you.
If you think about it, the Lunchable brand
is trash.
Yeah.
Is trash.
I love it.
Also hasn't had any
upgrade
competition.
or competition in a long time. Like there's
your Walmart Lunchables.
Is there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, and they're even worse than Lunchables.
Yeah.
They're basically there to make Lunchables look good.
But
at
what
Walmart.
you're saying is there's been no big,
competition.
Yeah, but there's been no brand other than, like, when you think about it, we even call, I know Hickory Farms makes some, I know Walmart makes some, but we all call them Lunchables. That's what they're going after. They're going after that.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
all called Lunchables now.
And as a lazy parent, there were a couple stabs at the market. I remember like one company came out with like here's a little sub kit. You can put the meat right on the bread, and it's a little mayo packet. And my kids are like, nah, we want the cold pizza Lunchable. It's got M&Ms.
Yeah, because it's got the cookie in it. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's the only reason you want it is because it has a feastable
Exactly.
chocolate bar
That's
inside of it. It's
right.
all
Yep.
trash.
Although that pizza Lunchable
Worse.
is
It's a
disgusting.
Absolute
cracker.
worst.
It's a cracker you put ketchup and cheese on top
Yeah.
of.
Oh, kids love it though for some
Yeah,
reason.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
May
Why
does.
do they love it?
I had a cold pepperoni.
May loves it too.
There's
She
nothing
loves
good about it.
She won't eat regular pizza. She'll eat that. I'll give her that. I'll be like, I'll take her to Black Magic Pizza, get like most delicious handcrafted pizza in town. No, she don't have the Lunchable pizza.
And there definitely should be some sort of test. If a kid assembles a little sandwich out of crackers, fine, they can leave. If they just eat the meat, then eat the cheese, then eat the crackers, that kid has to go somewhere special. They're gonna do bad things in society.
Yeah. So you were surprised that they had technology on the sidelines, huh? Who won? Who ended up winning the game?
Oh, Evans. Yeah. Good at football, good at band.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good.
Good at all.
But you know I was surprised that they even bothered doing like some sort of video replay for
I think
the
that's
players
cool.
or whatever. But I guess at high school level, coaches, some of those coaches do work their way up to college through that. So then they have to kind of go through the same procedure that a college would. So
I didn't think that until I started watching Receiver or any of those other shows that really get into the like Belichick and how he has the system underneath him and all the different
coaching
guys.
tree.
And then they start showing the coaching tree, and they trace it back to like guys that are now currently coaching high school.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'll like trace it all the way down.
Especially
to like,
NFL, it doesn't have like a real farm system, so school very much part of it.
yeah,
the whole way down.
It's pretty cool that they actually do that.
I think though for like your schools that have to face the Evanses who's good at football, good at band, they should also have a big like projection screen to the side and display the average GPA of the school. Because then if it's like if it's good at football, good at band, 3.8 up there too. Like what?
Oh, yeah,
great,
yeah,
you
yeah.
guys are killing it.
Trifecta.
But good at
Good
football, good at band, and it's like 1.5 is the average GPA of the school. No, take their horns away and get them a couple books.
That does help everybody too. When you're leaving, you'd be like, well, at least you've got a little
Exactly,
something.
a little something for the other
something.
team. Because
Also, I know one of the things I noticed with the band, you're mentioning band, I noticed watching the UCF band that no one plays a full-size flute.
Oh,
And
really?
then it made me think, have flutes all become like sport flutes? Or like marching flutes? Like
the shorter
Yeah.
ones, do they have the same amount? I guess.
So here's what happened. I'm walking and I'm trying to like show my band knowledge to
Yes.
Andrea, and I'm like, oh
Yes.
look, we got a piccolo here,
Uh-huh.
which is a tiny flute. But then they were
Trying to
all-
make her horny.
I was
huh?
trying to make her horny. I was trying to make my wife horny with some piccolo talk. But then it was all piccolos. It's like every girl had a piccolo, and I'm like, wait a minute here. This isn't all piccolos. Those have to be some sort of new sport flute. And I invented the idea of the sport flute.
Has any girl ever or woman ever been like, oh, your knowledge of marching band, we have to get in the bedroom?
No. No one has. No.
Well,
But some men. Some men.
Yeah.
Because I had a lot of gay
Oh, yeah.
I had a lot of gay band directors, so I would
Yeah.
say that it will work in some areas, but not with ladies, no. It's gonna be like normally a gay man with a mustache. Because both of my band directors that were gay had mustaches.
Oh, and the only other thing that I saw that happened over the weekend is Chris Christopherson died.
He did after you talked about him, so I say you killed him.
Well, I make a lot of Blade references, so it's chances are it just worked its way in there. But
It hurts my heart that he's seemingly more well known on every headline that I saw over the weekend for Blade, and not the fact that he's a country music superstar.
Yeah.
It's a little sad.
You know what I got was him comforting Sinead O'Connor on stage that one time. That was all I got about it. It
Oh,
was just
really?
pictures of that, yeah.
And then it's like, he's 88, lived a pretty good life for a human being. It's like
He looked pretty good for 88, I thought.
Lived seemingly his dream to be a musician. A star,
Actor.
made some money.
Yeah,
Died.
be like a leading man, an actor.
Wrote every good song ever. Yeah.
Had some legendary friends. Was heralded among other writers for being an amazing lyricist.
He may become a highwayman again.
Also,
That's powerful, Rob.
here's a tell. Died in Maui. Surrounded by friends and
Yeah,
family. It's
that's how you want to go.
You did pretty well, Chris.
Yeah.
You did.
As opposed to in the song, I think he's the one that falls into the concrete of the Hoover Dam. I could be wrong about that.
I think you are right on that.
I
think
be
he
wrong.
might be.
But that's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorites.
But that's
With sound effects or without sound effects? Because you can get both. The Highwayman song, you can get it. You can get two versions. One that has the sound effects from the video that you can look at that's terrible, or you can get one that's clean from the sound effects.
I don't think I've ever seen the video. Does Johnny Cash actually pilot a starship in the video?
I'll pull it up.
That's what? That's a little treat for later. Yeah, no, we can't.
You're
Yeah,
gonna like that. You're gonna like that.
Mm-hmm.
So all in all, I would say UCF. I will go back. It was a lot of fun. I can't drink like that though. I'll have to go easier on the beers. It's too much walking around. You have to walk. There's parking around there. You got to park way far away.
Yeah.
And then so on our way back, I threw money at it. A pedicab. I did it.
All
My
right.
hips can't take it. We were walking all the way back, and I looked at my watch, and then I looked at the area, and we had like a 3-mile walk all the way back, and I was just tired. I was over it. And I'm like, man, this guy can rip us there in no time. So we pedicabbed it.
Yeah.
They're using electric bikes now. Is that fair?
I saw that actually in St. Augustine too. Yeah.
It's fast as hell now. You get in there, they still charge exactly the same, but this guy doesn't pedal at all. He
And
just electric bikes you to your car.
They're going right up the turning lane of the highway.
Yeah.
Like they kind of got like Christmas lights decked out on there.
Yeah.
Not enough, by the way. And they're just like zipping up the highway at 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, because the bike goes so fast,
Yeah.
they just get on the road and they just rip.
Too fast for sidewalk, not fast enough for the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should tip him less, right?
Oh,
for
interesting.
because
I thought
you're
about
doing less work,
Comparatively.
physical work.
Yeah.
Because I remember one time
He didn't pedal at all.
taking a pedicab in downtown Orlando, and then and this was on the fatter Tom, 220 Tom.
Oh, yeah. What are you now, like 165? You're lean now.
And me, Crystal, and then
The judge.
two other friends of ours. They're not small. We all got in, they were sitting. The girls were sitting on our laps and
Yeah.
stuff. And this guy was huffing
yeah.
and puffing down. You know what I'm saying? And then we that deserves a good tip.
Yeah.
But if you're an electric bike, you're not even pedaling that much.
All right, what
half
do you
the tip, right?
think? Let's do what do you guys think? 8-minute ride, because it was far. And he was weaving in and out. He's like, I could go over the median. He was like giving us the speech.
So 3.5 miles, 8 minutes.
Yeah, 8-minute ride because it's $10. Well, I mean, yeah. What
Does
do you
he
think?
have a price sheet up, or is it one of
No.
those tips only type of situations?
No,
It's
he
always feels
tells you the
scammy?
price
Okay.
before you get in.
Okay, well,
That's good.
What's the price?
Well, I mean, you'll figure it out there. You'll do the math.
Oh,
so,
well,
yeah.
you were asking what the tip was.
Oh, no, what do you think it cost for a full ride?
Oh,
For you and
3
Andrea,
miles, 8 minutes, 2 passengers to the car.
electric bike.
Yeah.
He charged $20.
yeah, 20. I was
No,
on 20.
way more than that.
Oh, really?
Unless we got gouged.
50?
40?
Tons of people. No, over that. We paid $80.
80?
$80.
Dude,
And we tipped him. We tipped him.
You
No.
tipped on 80?
Yeah, we tipped.
No.
We tipped him.
You got robbed.
We tipped him $10
There's
on 70.
No way.
Oh, some high school or
$10
high school,
on 70.
Some college kid.
No, this was a man. This
no,
was a grown-ass
yeah.
homeless. None of these guys are college
I
kids.
know,
They're
yeah.
all homeless
Oh, yeah.
beach
College kids don't do
travelers.
that
They're
job.
That's true.
all gypsy men.
Yeah.
And they carry this thing in the back of their truck.
They saw
And-
you coming from a
Well,
mile
we
away
needed to get.
then.
I had to get the hell out of there. It was about to rain. It was $10 a minute.
I think a lot of those guys
$10
in St.
a
Augustine
minute.
live in them. Just
Yes.
live in the back.
Yeah.
They were like, we're going to charge this M-word $80 if we see him waddling from half a mile away.
See, I do the math. I'm like, you could either go.
Did he tell you after, or did he tell you right?
As we got in, he's like, it's $10 a minute, and then I'm like, well, how long could it be?
Oh, $10 a minute.
I mean, we were ripping. And we were like at least 3.5 miles from where we parked.
And he's not dawdling because the incentive would be to like.
He was not dawdling.
Okay.
I would tell you guys and complain about it if I thought he was dawdling.
Okay.
I thought it was worth it. In a time and age when we spend, $60 on one Jimmy John's, I thought,
Sure.
At that time, getting away from the storm and the people, I thought it was justified. But I can see where you guys think that is highway robbery.
Well,
I can see
$80.
that. I can see it in your faces.
60 would have been the limit. That's with tip.
Oh,
$80.
God. Now my wife's jumping on me in the chat room. It was worth it not to hear him bitch the whole way. God damn. I'm cheap, but it was worth it not to hear him bitch. Damn.
Well, yeah. Well, that you're paying for a different thing.
You changed the entire bargain. It's a different thing now. Free parking. We had free parking. So that all add in. So we kind of take our parking money and threw it to that. But yeah, I guess now talking about it, that is a lot of dough.
So what else did you do this weekend, Ross?
Other than the Jewel and the eating out, what did we do? That's pretty much it, Tom.
What's the Jewel concert? Where was it at again?
St. Augustine Amphitheater.
Okay.
By the way, you park at a state park and there's a free shuttle. Like, could not have been handled more beautifully. It's an amazing.
Isn't that a good venue?
Dude, the venue, and then the only getting food easy as hell, getting a drink easy as hell. At the Melissa Etheridge / Jewel concert, the only tie-up was the ladies' restroom line was 100 miles long.
Oh yeah.
It literally stretched like around the corner and down the block to get a pee in the ladies' restroom. I was waiting in line with my wife, and like every minute or so, a woman would walk by and go, "Forget about this. Let's go take over the men's restroom." And then nobody would react, and they just walked to the end of the line.
So let's talk about like restrooms and venues, because it seems like to add, let's say, I know certain buildings you're stuck with what you're stuck
just
with.
did porta potties everywhere. They were everywhere.
Yeah, when
it was great, like under a tree, by this house, by this classroom, under this thing. You see it now. It doesn't look nice. I'll give them. It does look a little like when I'm looking around, I'm like, this place looks like a dump. But when you need to pee,
and you don't want to wait in a ridiculous long line, because
they had every size. They had wheelchair porta potty, big tall porta potty, double porta potty, skinny gray porta potty. Like they had them all, but they were all over the place.
Yeah. Because remember, like even the the last No Effects show, whatever, they had just an insane long line of porta potties, never a line. Yeah. And I was like, this is worth the whatever it costs the actual venue. And then like when you're building like a concert venue, just put like double the bathrooms than you plan to, because it doesn't seem like it that much more. Like, what's the cost? Like once they're in. I guess cleaning them is a little extra water maybe, but it seems like so much more of a benefit for all the people going to whatever venue you're at to not wait in a long-ass bathroom line.
In this particular instance, I think the venue had adequate bathroom ages, and they also did have porta potties on site, but for whatever reason, I can't speak to it because I'm not a woman, every woman chose to go use the lit bathroom with a mirror and stuff instead of a porta potty, and
that's cocaine.
And
They're
it
all
also
doing cocaine,
was,
and they're a bunch of drug addicts.
It also was 9-1 women to men, so the facilities were.
You're like a king at a Jewel concert. You're walking around. You're like the one guy.
The first time I put my wife in line, I went. I used the bathroom, washed my hands, got a drink, got a pretzel, came back. She was coming out of the bathroom.
Oh yeah, Jewel and a pretzel. This guy's living like a king.
There is something to be said about women not wanting to use a dark porta potty,
right? Because
of the way they have to use it. Like
why don't we just put a light in there?
We have the luxury of looking down into the spooky dark
I just
hole.
pee everywhere. I just pee all over.
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm in a porta potty.
They have to turn around, and then at least hover over the scary black hole, which is off-putting.
I feel like they could use. It's now a funnel on the side. It used to be everybody used the hole. Now we get one up. We get like a little funnel on the left.
It's
way
urinal.
easier. Yeah. And it's normally like you can see it.
Last couple years at Power Spot, we've been getting the handicap accessible one, which is like flush to the ground and larger inside.
Yeah,
but does not have the funnel. You get a little more room. But
that can be fun too. You can just break things up in there a little bit.
I'm always
Sorry.
amazed coming back. The people in that parking lot like use it like it's theirs, and every once in a while we'll forget to lock it and come back and somebody's had a party in it like the night before.
Somebody's
Oh
like decorated. It's
my
got like fairy lights at the top of it. Like they're in there like partying.
It's more of like sandwich wrappers and beer cans and ash.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. We got game show Drew coming in. So
I hope he doesn't make a mess.
It's gonna be ridiculous.
He always makes a mess.
All right, we'll be right back.
Jinx.
I don't think we've ever done that. I don't think we've ever said we'll be right back together as creepy twins.
All right. There's a 1 and 2. 43. All right.
You know, we'll take a early lunch, and then that way we come back with an earlier BDM show. Maybe we'll start like.
Are we gonna do
12.
something for Tuesday?
No, we could get that done tomorrow morning.
Okay,
I think
perfect.
It's probably better that because
Saves it.
I have to figure out what I'm going to talk about. What we're going to talk about for the BDM show.
All right, y'all. I got a couple things I want to mention to you guys.
There's a guy here.
I want to talk about.
Okay.
There's a guy.
Oh, there is a guy. Okay, great.
Okay.
You'll recognize him if you want to do that. And also, I got